Okay, so hi guys, Tag here. So this time, that's now my another part for the build orders with late scouting. To be honest, this time I don't want to go for a huge and a long explanation video because the thing is, there are so many other WODs that actually can help, and I think one WOD would be actually really helpful if you watch the one from Light with this like 2-3 base fast arbiter style, because I feel like it's really helpful just to know how to work with that. And the other part would be there are some WODs from Quark and in YouTube, especially it's kind of funny, but there's especially like 2 WODs against Atosis, and I feel like they're really helpful because Quark always tells you why he skipped something or why he didn't do something like that, or why he actually built now that and whatsoever and so ever. And I think if you actually try to go for that, it actually even helps you in PvP and even PvZ. And to be honest, I feel like even in every other matchup, because you are trying to think differently. Because what I feel like when I played in the beginning, it was quite often, oh look, now I tried to get now at the 5-minute mark now this building and now this building and then hey, but I did that, why did I lose, and something like that. So that's why I want to show you this time right now in PvT some, yeah, like the 23 Nexus 2, but not really like, yeah, to be honest, not really like, oh, I invented that or something like that. It's more about similar like with that 2 cannon really late scouting, that you can get really far with that build, and it really helps you to focus on the beginning and to do stuff, so you can actually deal with like 2 factory or like other pushes. To be honest, I actually had some issues with like an FT push or something like that, so if some early pushes came, then very often I just died, and even against lower ranked people than I did. So I thought like, that's why I'm not doing the 23 Nexus that much anymore. But to be honest, it still helps to focus on it, and it's still really valid. It still works, so it's not like, oh, now I do that again or something like that. So still, you can still go for that. It helps. It's good. But if you feel like, it didn't work that well that I thought of, sometimes it helps to go for that salad opening into maybe a 28, 29 Nexus, or depends if you want to get a 23 Nexus, because that's what I'm going for now, and I really like that. But yeah, but still, if we focus on this now, I still want to show you can still beat even A ranks with that if it works. So it's still very valid. I think it's very nice to play with, because you can even deal quite good against that free tank push thingy after the natural. So it's really good. So I would really recommend focus on that very often and try to improve your scouting. It's really difficult because there can still things happen, like you have your observer in the base of your opponent, and then even that you thought, oh, I saw like 5 factories, why didn't he attack me? There is still stuff like that can happen, and it's really annoying, but that's why I feel like you need experience and a lot of training to deal with that, like really confident about. But if opponents are going like for that meta, then it should be worth it. So that's why I thought about, I don't want to waste too much time on explaining all that stuff here, because because this time there are other WODs that should actually help you much more than I can do here. But I still want to show you, right now we have an opponent that was like 1400 MR. That's the same thing that I did with Protoss versus Zerg, because I went for this F2B or F2C challenge, stuff like that, but I actually stopped around 1500 MR, so it's fine. Here I just explain you just quite shortly, because even Carla has some really nice explanations about when you should do something. but he actually goes for a very often earlier scout, so that's why I want to show you this one. And like I mentioned, the first initial video was really that from light. So we have now 10 gate, 11 gas, a little bit earlier, then we get straight into core, get gas very fast, we get another pylon. We can depend if we actually go pylon here or maybe even here, so that's what I'm talking about, like all these wall-ins that you can need and whatsoever. Because if the pylon is over there, the vultures have a hard time to just sneak behind the mineral lines. Or even if he drops there, then we can just pull all the probes over here, and then we are fine. I'm not sure why I actually put that pylon over there, but maybe we just can build... maybe we can build our tech later over there instead of somewhere here, and then you can see everything. But right now, nothing really happened. It was just getting stuff, getting goon range, getting 2 goons. And now we're actually scouting with the goon, not with a probe or something like that. We scouted with the goon. And one really important thing that you have to think about is... funny. So too fake right now. So the first... the most important part that you have to think about is actually that the first one should really scout. That shouldn't struggle too much in the base to kill that SCV, unless that SCV is like, well, maybe a few hits away, but not completely, because it takes such a long time until he dies. And the second goon, that's the most important part, should stay here. Actually, okay, so that should actually stay here, because if there's a vulture and gets inside, we are actually could be just dead, could just leave the game. And if that one is here, the SCV can go up there to scout what we are actually doing, and the vulture can't get in. So those two parts. And the good part is, even if our opponent sees... I actually went for 28 Nexus here. I think both works, so it's fine. So you have to do another replay, it's fine. But it's the same thing there, so we actually should get then earlier the robotics. I can show you later, but like I mentioned, there are other wards that you can show off. But like I mentioned here, it's about even if the SCV can see we are getting natural or like an Exciter, we can still go for DTs. So he can't be sure about, oh, is he going now for Observer or the Reaver or whatever, or is it going for DTs? So if we're still getting DTs, we can still kill him, because look here, right now he doesn't have any kind of detection. The only thing could he have is maybe mines, so that's the only thing that he could do. And if he doesn't have that, then he would straight die to DTs. So even there would be like a second SCV, he has to he can't see anything. So that's why it's really important to get that second goon over there, so that's fine. Pretty much it. Get 3 gates, get robotics. In a 23 next, I think we get robotics much earlier. Not much, but a little bit earlier. So, but it's still fine. It's still a very solid build here. It's not, oh no, the other one is so much superior, something like that. But yeah, that's still fine. So now comes the important part. It's now the scouting here now. We actually got unlucky that we actually scouted with that goon very late. But even if something like that happens, and we went for now a 28 next and a 23, oopsie, we can actually check that here, and we are now if we were a little bit more lucky, we could actually see if we had something there. But the difference is still now, there's a difference now to the 23 Nexi. Because we went for the 28 Nexi, we can get now 4 goons, and at the we get soon another goon. We should get observatory. Observatory is coming, so that's fine. We should build some pylons here then too, just to get that wall. But it looks like that he still doesn't have that much. And because we went for a later Nexus, we get now 4 goons. And we can actually, so the initial plan was actually we wanted to arrest that bunker because we weren't sure if there is something or not. And with that 4 goons, even A rank sometimes miscalculate that and they lose the bunker and then they got really screwed up and all that stuff. That's kind of funny. So that could actually help. But right now we are not completely in a pickle that you say, oh, should we lose now or something like that, because we have now that high ground. And now this just shows us what it is. It's a 2-fac. It's a really strong push right now because he has so many vultures. He has already 2 tanks. He has some marines. Even SCVs are coming. So we know, oh shit, we don't need probes anymore. Maybe we should skip a little bit. We need units now. We need that observer then too. So maybe there's something missing here. There should be a pylon, and we can get maybe shield battery if necessary. But we have some small advantage. We are now here on that high ground, and because of that, we could kill some of his units. So that's really nice, really good. We get still units here. Look, we produce more units. It's really important here. We have to produce. And now it gets really difficult because he already has siege there. So he really wants to kill us. So what we actually have to do is we have to secure this position here. We need shuttle too. So we get now a salad. I should get. Oh, 1 second. I think I should have got. Should get even more gates. Yeah, there is even more gates, so that's good. Maybe even going for a citadel. So, but let's check that again here, what actually happened here, so you know why it actually worked so well. To be honest, a push like this is really deadly. That even if I played against C rank, sometimes I just die to crap like that, so that can really happen. It's sometimes really ridiculous, but it's not completely impossible. I think it was because of that. Let's see, we kill now that barracks. We see he gets their bunker. He has 2 tanks because sort of that shot here. And now I just thought, okay, we had to gamble a little bit. I feel like if we would have had already some more mines or something like that, we would be in more trouble. But I just knew, oh shit, if he actually gets this bunker up, then it gets really dicey. So it was a huge risk, but it paid off because that 1 mine actually killed so much. And now we know, okay, we should actually just have won this because it was such a huge attack. We get now that shuttle that we don't need anymore. And that's what I'm talking about, decision making. So the thing is, we defeated this huge attack right now. With this attack he wanted to kill us. He got siege, he got mines, he got at least 2 tanks, a few vultures, he even wanted to build something here. He lost so much stuff, and I lost only goons. And it was more or less like an even trade, I guess. So I should be ahead, so we can actually go safely now for that 3rd base. We still try to get units. Hope so. We should get units. Where is it? Oh god. But at least we get a 4th gate, so we should get more units. Yeah, there it is. Finally, more units. A few more probes. I feel like we should actually. So that's the thing. If my observer would have been there much earlier, then we could have seen already what's happening. I think that's a little bit difficult, or like a little bit. Yeah, so there it is. The thing was actually, I think it's not necessary to do that, but it's usually a good counter if someone goes for 2-fac, if you have a shuttle and some zealots to even occupy him. So you see, like, I can't really do that much with goons, but those zealots could actually do something. And I actually thought, yeah, like I mentioned before, because the the gap between us was just so huge, and I saw, oh look, he builds now his second base, and I have still one solid. I tried to close that game earlier than it actually was usually possible, because if that opponent was as good as I, then I couldn't have done this, or like that easily. That actually still occupied him. He couldn't just get his natural chest for free or something like that. I didn't. Okay, 160 APM, but at the same time, I got my third. I can go now easily for Stargate, like Arbiter attack, because I was now so ahead. So I just had to. Yeah, that's another thing. If I would have stayed at home, those probes wouldn't have died. But I'm still in such a big advantage. It's just a matter of time. So all this stuff I could have got earlier. Even the third one over here, so it's kind of bad. It's really good to close that all the time, so something like that can't happen. That was a little bit ridiculous. Didn't expect that he could walk through. He always tries to do something now, but I still have so many probes. It would be a miracle if he would win this now. So that's something too. If you feel like you're in a really good position, if you're really ahead, then just try to stay still calm. Get all the stuff that can help you, like more gates, a better tech, and still there would be something that I was missing right now too. I should have built more observers just to check this position, so they should fly around here. Then maybe checking even for a what's called a hidden base. That's more than enough goons. Now I could actually switch to mass salads. Speed. Do I have speed? But now I need the bidders. And I'm staying right now on 3 bases because I know if I get too greedy, then I could actually die. And actually my intention was getting tech, getting the arbiters, and now I can slowly expand. But like I mentioned, because I tried to play slower and all that stuff, so my scouting was really bad. So that should have been much better. I should have scouted all this. Should have scouted here. And yeah, he still tries to kill my probes and whatsoever, but I feel like yeah, it's just still a matter of time. Look here, I have even double the supply than him. Sure, he has now a lot of SCVs too, but yeah, it's still not enough. So we can actually check him. So he tries to get his third right now. He has still a lot of some units actually, but not that much. It's just there's so many mines I can't just walk inside, so it's really bad. Hey, but he has only +1, and I have +1 too, so that's nice. My upgrades for even getting better. This upgrade should be better. And I have now such a huge army composition, so that's fine. That was lucky, but still, so it's okay. But I'm still in a good position. You see, I have even so much money right now because I can't die right now. So go with the shuttle over there. Playing safe. I still play that really safe because I check for all the opportunities that I can have just to kill him or kill all that stuff that that actually gives me an advantage. Like here, his third was not really that defended, only 2 tanks, something like that, only 2 turrets, not even mines, or maybe 1 or something like that. So I could just fly in with that shuttle, all the salads are attacking here, killing that, and this one just closing that so he doesn't get any reinforcements. And all this happens because his initial push that should have killed me didn't work, and I just played it calmly. I lost only units there, I didn't lose really probes, something like that, and so I could actually play slowly to my victory here. So that's pretty much it. Let's see. So he had just attacked because I knew, okay, hey, I have so much stuff. He's still on 2 bases. I got my 4th, I have just more than him. But as you can see, even that I was in such an advantage, I still have only my goons here, only 1 arbiter, no zealots, only 1, okay. So, and now I can kill this one, and now it's just a matter of time, but don't underestimate it if someone should be in a huge disadvantage. That could be your downfall there. So, let's see, so that was something about a 2-fag, and it was... there it is, 28 Nexus, lol. If we are already on 28 Nexus, we can just check the next part too. So, I have to be honest, I am not sure what actually happens here. But it's just the same thing, I go for stuff, okay, core and whatsoever. So he... lol, really, he goes for that... yeah. He went for that, for a push again. So actually, to be honest, everything here happens the same thing here. Yeah. Yeah, I think I actually asked him to do that, so yeah, that's fine. So as you can see now, this was kind of hardcore here, so I feel like I microed something like that. So we need probes right now, but even after that, we should be still in a good position. It's not... okay, it was kind of hard. Okay, I feel like... yeah. Okay, sorry, that was not the best example, but I feel like this just shows you, even if you scout really late with only goon, you can still do something, and you can still be quite strong against it. Sure, if you die against stuff like this, that can happen. It's really annoying, and yeah, but still there is a possibility that you can win, that you're not lost completely. I even lost here my Nexus, but I have still 7 more probes. He actually lost a lot of units, and so on and so on and so on. So I have just to rebuild this, play it calmly. You see, yeah. And then you can still win against this. So yeah, it was not the best example here right now, but I just want to show you that even the 28 Nexus can help you. And it's not completely, you should never do that or something like that. You can still go for 28 Nexus. You can still go for that and just say, okay, let's go for there. Yeah, you can go for the 28 Nexus, and you can still be safe against it, against the 2-fag. So here, this time we really go for the 23 Nexus. I'll show you just the difference again. So here, okay, this time I actually I feel like, yeah, like I mentioned before, I should have already walked there. This one should go over here just to defend. When we go for the 23 Nexus, the difference is still, we can get around 25, that robotics. We get around 30, the 2 gates. So now here comes the difficult part. We don't know what he's actually doing. We just saw, okay, he still doesn't have a CC. So, but it doesn't look like that he actually went for an early push, because we should have seen that already. So there's a high chance that a 2-fag is coming, because a 2-fag is, like we see now, between 5 minutes and 5 minutes 30. So we should actually skip now probes. Yeah, there it is. And now we have to build units. And the good part is we have cross position. His attack will be in a pickle right now because he has to walk this far. Our problem right now is we don't have that many units like on 28 Nexus that we can already shoot and all that stuff. But we get already here now a shield battery because that pylon was here already. like I mentioned, you can actually watch that on another what better to how to build that. But now you see here, if he doesn't, if he's not using that correctly, we have now so many units that we should be safe. If it would be like close position, would be much harder. Maybe on another map could be much harder. But like I mentioned, if you actually skip probe production, I just resumed because we had just such a good fight. I think I even killed, I killed that one tank. So I thought, okay, now it looks better. We just built more observers, I hope so, and more gates, more goons. And because we didn't lose any goons, should be fine. We are now in a good position, and now we actually should already won again. But like I mentioned, we actually just go for the safe style and say, okay, we just get few units, get now the third, we can get now the third because that guy just went for the 2-flag half kick or so for 1 base, 4-flag, something like that. But this won't work because there's only 20 SCVs. He lost so many units in the beginning, and that's what I'm talking about. If I get careless and I just use now all my units just to attack, then I can actually lose because I just sacrifice all my goons. Just imagine if there would be like 1 or 2 mines that are just going inside here. I lose 3-4 goons for nothing, and then maybe he can kill me. But here it was like, okay, he just wasted so many units. He couldn't do that. What he wanted to do for, what he wanted to go for. There's no free factory. We just have to be on our toes just to say, okay, let's be careful. Don't rush anything. But we are in a good position. And now we just get. Now we can go for arbiter attack because we're in a good position. If it would be like a 2 base, if we went for a faster second base with 4 or 5 factories, then we couldn't do that. But that's a different story. That's yeah. But like you've seen, usually people are very afraid of all these early pushes because they die to something like that. I can assure you, if you go for something like this, and if you cut sometimes probes, that's the real part where you have to cut the probes to get in a good position. Then you can actually win this, and it should be fine. If you have like a FD push, something like that, then it can be really dicey. Like I mentioned, I lost very often against this crap. But sometimes it's better to say, okay, let's get a second gate earlier or something like that, and then get a robotics, something like that. But I feel like an FD push is not really that common anymore, so it's fine. But you can still check if you feel not comfortable enough. So now I have enough goons. Like I mentioned before, now I'm so far ahead, so there's not much that I can show you because I'm going now for 3 base arbiters. A lot of gates here. Now I don't have that gap here, should be better. That's now a small mistake here. And yeah, so that should work. Let's see if we actually have a normal game that actually should work. We are all in this. Ah yeah, here. There was someone who has... I have to check what's happening. Okay, sure, now the difference is our opponent is in a close position. So, now the thing is, this time we are actually in a disadvantage. That's what I want to show you. We should be in a disadvantage because he went for Rex CC. Yeah, that's the thing, yeah, Rex CC, so... Ah, 1 second, did we actually scout that? Yeah, we scouted that, that's already finished, and we know, oh, because it was only 1 position and so on, we just know, oh shit. He should have now a lot more SCVs, more workers than we have probes. And now the thing what you can do is actually, if you know there is no vulture coming through, just send your goons in front here and harass that, because his tank can only arrive at 5:30, something like that. That's the earliest part. I feel like that's a really difficult situation because right now it's you can try to get a really fast Nexus. But now we have to be careful about that. Was it like 6 minutes or 6 minutes 30 push from the Terran because they can just go for 2 factories with 2 add-ons, and they get like 3 tanks and some other units, and then they attack, so that can be really, really dicey and really, really strong. Because the thing is, right now, he could just build something, he could just build his stuff, he could just build his stuff, and we couldn't really harass him or something like that, so he got away with murder for being really, 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 really greedy. So, now one thing, so that means he should be ahead, but the funny part is he didn't produce that many SCVs, so usually he could have even had 1 or 2 more SCVs, so he lacked there, so, but it's still okay. So, now the part is, for us it's really hard now just to catch up right now. It's possible, but it's hard. So that's why people actually go for Reavers, because if you have Reavers you can really harass him now, and yeah, you can really harass him now, and or at least force him to build turrets, something like that. Now the funny part is, and that's sometimes so hardcore when people go really greedy, you see he went greedy for the beginning, he went now greedy again because there is no detection at all. If I would have gone for Dark Templar drop, I would just win instantly, so it's like So, but I just want to show you that even if it's hard like that, you can still win with that. So now it depends what we actually see, so that's now really important. We see now another CC. We see already 3 factories. I feel like I should have watched all the stuff here, because then we could have seen that Terran Starport, we could have seen the add-on, so that means a drop is coming, and the 2 armories. But for some reason I just thought, you know what, I know that what you're doing, so I can just go back. I feel like that was a mistake. I should have scouted there, and then I could have suggested more what he's going for, because if he goes for this one, sure, it's like he shows me, oh, he wants to go for a drop. Okay, first part, so we could have gone for better defenses here, maybe even use some goons over here and there and whatsoever, so just to defend ourselves. Because right now, if he drops here, it's not really good. Here could be okay-ish, but there's a chance that he goes there too, and he could kill so many probes, because he could even run over there. So that was not really good, so just scout with that, because we had a chance, because there's still no detection at all. If we had the Ts, we would have won. So what I mean is, like, if you try to go play in a normal style, like a safe style, then something like this can be really hardcore to deal with. So now the next part is if he goes for Terran Armory. Sure, now his academy lacks, so he still can't scout. So he's just blindly doing all that stuff. He doesn't know what I'm doing, and so he just suggests or hopes that I'm not going for DTs, and that's sometimes really ridiculous. But yeah, so right now the thing is, when he goes for this double armory style, we know, okay, he invested into this. He invests no money into upgrades. So there is only a chance that he wants to attack later. With this command center, we know, okay, it's even much later. And there's still a potential that he can still go for a run by with his vultures. There's still potential that he still gets, with his 2-3 factories, some units and attacks us. But right now, I don't feel like that we have to focus so much on getting units right now, because if he goes for a push, if we continuously produce some units, and we have some units here, that's fine, we should be in a good position, and our observer actually should have scouted that he has now only 2 tanks and 1 vulture, so he has like nothing, and then we shouldn't be like afraid of any kind of attack. If he would have got an academy, for sure we shouldn't be afraid of any kind of attack, because if he goes for an academy, he needs the money to build some scans and whatsoever, so he use all these resources to do something for later. So we know now, okay, he goes really, really greedy. We saw that earlier with the observer. So now our possibility could be, we can go now for being greedy on ourselves, like getting a 4th and a 5th. Or we can get a shuttle, get some salads. I will build some salads, isn't it? Because here you see already tanks over there, build some depots over there. It's now really difficult to do something. But I get some zealots. Nice. Good. So, I just prepare myself to attack there. Because our only issue that we have is that these 2 tanks, these goons just die if we actually try to attack there. It's just too difficult to do something. I found it here. Is it doing there? Ah, he wants to get this wood here? Don't know. Okay, so but we have to use our shuttle to drop there, and if those tanks die, our goons can just walk up and kill everything there just to deny that. So there's one part, and that's what I mentioned. So because my goal right now is to punish this with the shuttle and the salads. I have to decide if I want to even want to expand again. So I could expand here, or maybe not. So the thing is, I actually thought about I want to go for tech. So I just got a few more gates because I had money, and I get here the Stargate and here the Templar Archive. So that means I stay on 3 bases. I try to harass him here with my shuttle and some units here, and yeah, even get upgrades, stuff like that. So if I would go now for another expansion, I would be going for everything. And if I go for everything, you get usually nothing. That only works if the opponent is much worse than you or doesn't scout or whatever. So I feel like I could have done that right now, but I thought I want to go and play a little bit more smoother and a little bit more calmly. Don't know why I actually went up there, but okay. So right now there's still not that much that I should be afraid of what he actually has here. So yeah, still nothing there. I'm not sure why I actually went there nearly a year ago. Ah, I got another. Oh, I got even 2 shuttles right now. Okay, funny. So okay, good. So I actually had 2 shuttles. Oh fuck. Yeah. Only one salad got out. Kid. Not sure if the shuttle was really worth it. Yeah. But you see, I even got not too much money. So much things that I can actually improve on. Rocket count is okay. Could be a little bit more. But as you can see now, so he got really greedy, super greedy. He didn't really scout anything. Can actually check what he actually scouted. And because he didn't scout, he dies right now. So that's actually pretty much it. So he's now in a really bad position. I actually get no arbit already, that's really good. And does he get... okay, he can build now a vessel already. He has now so many factories. But I have already a lot of gates. Build even more gates. Those units are really nice just to deny that still. Good part is now I have cannons everywhere, so I couldn't be too afraid of drops anymore. Because that's the funny part, he had such an early starport. If he would have used that much earlier, I would have been dead. Or like there's a high chance that he could have killed me. But he didn't use it, he used it now when I have already cannons. But I'm still on 3 bases because I'm a little bit afraid of all his factories. And I wanted to clean this here. So this was my intention. That's why I stayed on 3 bases even with 70 probes. And now because I saw, oh look, this was now a really good attack. He lost so many things. Now I get a 4th, and maybe could even go for a 5th here. But this was now really good attack here. So it should be now my victory here. And yeah. Okay, to be honest, I think I didn't go for an offensive. cheater. Heaven, what's that? Okay, weird, don't know why. I don't know what I did. I think I actually just left the game so he doesn't lose points, something like that. But okay. So, okay. Yeah, that's genau, that's what I want to show here. This thing. So, you can actually just watch his part, how he actually played. Sure, like the beginning scouting, there's nothing you can usually do about it. And after that, now he scouted, didn't see anything. Yep. You see, you can get C rank with just gambling that you can go for something and don't scout. So that actually works. But yeah, you see, like the whole time he didn't know anything at all what I'm doing. He just gambled. He just hoped that I'm not going carriers. If I would have gone for carriers, carriers would have been here already killing everything. So can happen, can work too. Yeah. So that was just a small excursion for PvT, and I feel like I just want to show you how that there's actually potential that you can even deal with early aggression. And sure, it's really hard. It's not really easy that you can say, could have done it in my sleep or something like that. It's really hard. You have to be careful about it. And yeah, but I still feel like there are other wards that that can actually help much more. But I still want to show you that even in lower ranks, it's still where you can use that for sure. That you say, hey, I want to focus on getting my 23 Nexus done without probe cuts, without or skipping probes, or getting supply blocked all the time, stuff like that. So if that actually works perfectly in the beginning, the first 10 minutes, something like that, then you are in a really good shape, and you should actually be able to get at least C, B rank if you just follow the first 10 minutes in a really good position. Then you can go really far with that, and I think that's a good opportunity. So okay, so thanks guys, it was really good, I hope it helped. Yeah, so see you next time.